Okay, I think we are live. Oh, let me check my sound. Let's see here. Okay. All right. Okay. So we are live and it is Fun Friday. It looks like it's streaming on both platforms. I had posted asking if noon on a Friday. It just feels different to have it on a Friday well, it just feels different to have it on Friday. Anyways, I don't know why. Just most things are kind of during the Monday through Thursday week. But eventually, like I want to have the workshops and stuff will probably be in this Friday time slot or like moved back on a Friday. Tuesdays and Thursdays are fairly busy for me. I have like some of my spiritual classes. I have my CrossFit class. I need to relax at some point. So I don't normally do Tuesdays and Thursdays for stuff. I can have some me time. So anyways, what I'm planning on doing today is I'll do the live stream now, and then I'll do a watch party, which I mean technically is like a live stream of your live stream. So I will do that later today at some point, and then that way other people that have expressed that they can't get on during kind of in the middle of the day or the lunch or whatever, that they'll be able to participate live if they want to. And so I'll do the random drawing thing later. So what I was going to offer, if you're interested, is an hour one-on-one reading or healing. And I'll explain what that means because I do a few different things. Okay, so I went to an intuitive school, which I mentioned before, in San Diego, like years ago. And I went to a spiritual school before that as well. And now I'm in this new spiritual program, which is a little bit different. So the school I went to before, it's called Intuitive Insights. It's in San Diego on Monroe Boulevard. And if you're in the area, they might do it virtually now, I'm not sure. They do have or you can get like a 10-minute reading the first Monday of the month or something. And if it's your first time, it's free. If it's your, if you've had one before, then it's donation. And then they do have a women's clinic, and I want to say it's the third Monday of the month, or at least it used to be, because I used to go as a reader, and I was going to the school, and then I would go as a reader, which is volunteer, and do readings for people that showed up for the clinics. So we'd have the reading clinic at the beginning of the month, the women's reading clinic in the middle of the month, and then they also have a trans medium healing, which I know for sure they do over the phone. I don't think they do that one on Zoom. And I still will, since I moved out of the state, I still do the trans medium healings, not as excuse me, not as a reader, but I still continue to get healings because they're pretty intensive, or they move a lot of energy. So I'm actually went to school for all of those things, and the Teachers Leaders Program, I can teach all of these things. I helped out with a few of the Women's Intuition. They have a month course called Women's Intuition, and I did a few of those. Not as I did as a participant as well, but teaching them. And then They have a whole clairvoyant program. That sort of thing. So, whoops, sorry, I have a couple little Merkabas in my hand. So I was thinking of doing a couple workshops on that, just for some people who may not be familiar, or people, I get a lot of people that are, that schedule readings or healings, and they're like, oh, I've been wanting to work on my gifts, or I've been wanting to tap into my intuition. I'm not sure what to do. So I can teach that as well, which is actually, it's pretty easy, honestly. It's more of, I would say that when you're learning to tap into your intuition, it's really your own blocks, not necessarily, I know my hair's so crazy, not necessarily the, like whether you have intuition or not. As I've said before, everybody has intuition, and yeah, so, okay. So yes, I am a little hair and makeup today. I wanted to share, oh my gosh, I wanted to share today. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. So let me finish. I have a little list beside me to keep me on track. So I do, I can read intuitively. So cold read, I just run the energy. You can ask, excuse me, you can ask any question, and I'm able to look at it. I'm able to look at you energetically and see what I see. Like, and it's, I make the connection. It's not like I'm just sitting in a room and I'm like, oh, you're thinking of the number 5. Like that's, people can do that. I probably could too, but well, actually I've done, funny story. My friend and I were in the locker room at the gym, and she couldn't remember her gym combination, and she was freaking out. And obviously I don't know her gym combination. Like, why would I? And I gave her all the numbers, and she was able to get her locker open. I don't even know how I did it. It was so crazy, but so maybe I can guess numbers. I don't know. But I do intuitive readings. I can read people clairvoyantly. You can ask questions, and I was thinking about it last night, though. I've never done it in like this. Like, I've never, well, obviously I've just started live streaming on Facebook, like where I'm actually like interacting with people. So I actually, it would be a big test run. I would actually be interested to see how it works. When people schedule with me, it's a Zoom call. And so I'm with the person one-on-one, basically, even though it's over the internet, which I think is even more personal than a phone call, but it's usually that single person. And when we would do readings at my school for the reading clinics I was just talking about, we're in a room full of people. So it's not that I'm not able to read one person in a room full of people. I've done that, I know, probably 1,000 times. I've never done it over the internet, or like not seen the person. But I guess it'd be the same as over the phone and connecting with someone. I mean, I've given my friends readings over the phone, if they call me and they're all like, blah. And I'm like, okay, hold on a second. And they're like, I don't know why he's acting like this, or, my job's crazy, or I don't know what to do next. And I'm like, okay, well, just calm down. We'll look at the energy. Well, I never say calm down. Nobody ever calms down when you tell them to calm down, right? So we just ground and do it that way. So yes, I do straight up intuitive readings. And like I said, I can pull cards. I don't normally do like tarot readings. I'm more of, I tap into the energy. I see how your energy's running. I see what shows up. I get information either visually, or something will pop into my head to say, and I share that information. And I know there's quite a few people in this particular Bravely Authentic Conversations group that have had readings from me, that have experienced how I do them and how accurate they are. So I do not question my abilities. It's sometimes it's crazy to me. Like I will like, I'm not going to say that, or that looks really weird. I don't understand what I'm looking at. And then when I finally share it with the person that I'm doing the reading with, they're like, oh my gosh, let me tell you what this means, or this is what I've been working with, or this is what I do, or blah, 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 blah. And it resonates, it's validating for both of us, and it's on point. And it enables me to give them further information. I speak very directly. I'm obviously politely with ease and grace, but I speak very directly. I give the message or the whatever that I'm seeing. I do share that with the person. I don't worry about whether it's right or wrong. Not anymore. I mean, maybe back in the day when I was first learning, I was like, this is crazy. Now I've learned just give it to them straight. And most people appreciate that. Okay, so that's one of the things I do, because people ask, like, what is it you do, especially when they've scheduled, and I'm like, oh, so when you scheduled, did you have an intention? What was it you wanted to look at, or do you just want a healing on something? And they're like, so what is it you do? So for Fun Friday, I'm telling you what I do first. We'll get that out of the way. Okay, so I do the clairvoyant healing readings, ask me a question, whatever. I mean, really, you're not really asking me the question. I mean, you're trying to find out information for yourself. I guess I should have explained this. So for anyone who's just like, okay, like you do what? Like, right? I mean, most of my friends, my personal friends that know me in real life, they already know like all these things about me, and my intuition and stuff. And a lot of my friends, even the ones that are just like, he, they're like the most intuitive friends I have. Like my alpha male friends, just saying, a lot of them lead with their heart, and they're leading with their intuition and their gut, and they're manifesting like crazy. I mean, some of them have literally have built organizations and businesses, right? I know, it's my struggle. So intuition, clairvoyance, whatever you want to say, it's just I've worked at mine. I've gone through courses to help develop it. So, and I actually do it for other people. Obviously, some of my, male friends and it's not always males, but I just have a lot of military alpha, so they're like, okay, with your, how many fingers am I holding up? So anyways, with the intuition or the clairvoyance, anyone can learn how to do it, honestly, I think. And you can learn different ways. What was I going to say there? There was something else. I don't know. I guess I'll remember if it's important. Okay. So the other thing, yeah, I don't know what it was. Okay. So the other thing that I do is the healing work. So, and I think I've mentioned before, like I have a tarot reader. I'll call every once in a while for questions. Oh, that's what it was. Is that when you're asking, see what's important. When you're asking somebody else questions, or you're calling someone, whatever, talking to someone, and you're asking them questions, I don't know, about the future or whatever. Like I might be giving you that information or tapping into it. And I have people that I call as well that can tap into the energy. The reason is because you're caught up in it. Even if you have like on point intuition, it doesn't matter what you're doing. Coaches have coaches, therapists have therapists, business leaders have mentors. You go to school to learn how to be great in your field. I mean, everybody has somebody they kind of, unload, offload, or ask questions or brainstorm, throw things on the whiteboard too, right? So when you're asking the questions to someone else and you're getting the information, you're asking the questions, you're pulling that information out with your intention, right? And then you have free will. You can either take the information and just be like, she's crazy. Maybe I am. I don't know. Or you can look at your choices. Like, this is the information I got. Do I like this? Do I like the path that I'm on right now? Because when you read, or at least when I read, I'm reading based on the path that you're on right now. Or are you like, I don't want that. Like, I'm going to change it. And you make ways to change it. There's plenty of times where it's like this, and this is happening. And I can like, well, when my person, the woman I call, when she's saying these things, I literally am like, I know she's right. And I'm like, I don't know. And then there's a part of me, it's like, well, should I do that then? That's the thing, is people think they need to do everything if it's like foretold in the future. Absolutely not. It's just information for you to make better choices about what path you're on and what path if you want to stay on it, or if you want to go to another path or create another path or manifest something else in your life, or in the relationship, get a new job, choose a different school. I mean, it could be like a multitude of things. Maybe not go on that vacation right now, like whatever it is. I've been asked a lot of stuff. A lot of times I'll get people too that are like, oh, I'm trying to open up my intuition, or they'll ask me a question and I'll answer it, and they kind of ask it again, and so they're not opening it up to it or answering it, or they're still stuck on the not moving forward part, right? So one of the other things I do, and this I incorporate this with the intuition because it works really well, is I help people clear energy blocks, clear their space, heal old past trauma, work on healing trauma, healing, getting them grounded, getting them in their heart space, getting them, aligned with their highest and best good, getting them on the timeline they want to be, the path they want to be. And some of this stuff is hard to explain, excuse me, or if you're not familiar with this kind of work or these modalities, or have experienced anything like this, it might sound weird. I'm not going to lie. It might sound hooky. It might sound something that's not part of your religious belief system or spiritual belief system. However, I don't know. I think I'm a pretty nice person. I have a good heart, volunteer. I clear anything yucky out of my house. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a good person. I'm sure there could be people that could attest to that, friends, right? Anybody? Comments? But I'm not coming from a negative space or an evil space, or I'm not tapping into some, I don't know, bizarre demon energy or something. I really don't know. I sometimes forget how opposed people might be to what a lot of us do, because I look at it as like, this is intuition, this is, natural. It's yes, people have are more developed in different areas, which is like life. Like, I'm not a math person. Anything past like 10 times 10. No, okay. So, but like, I'm really good at, people, and I'm really good with intuition and that sort of thing. So those are the strengths that I use, right? I don't pretend to be an MBA, finance person by any means. That would be disingenuous. That would be out of alignment. So, like I said, I'm coming from a good place, my heart space, when I do these, my connection with the highest energy of source, God, creator. I've been known to go to church, if I resonate with the energy there and the message. Like, everybody loves a good positive message, right? So, yeah. Okay. So I do the healings, and I have the same healing work that I've been, used on myself for years. The new modalities that I'm using that I use now. So it's nothing that I haven't used or practiced or have experience with. It's all part of my healing journey, my story, kind of where I tap into information, that sort of thing. Most of my mentors now are, fairly part of this stuff, familiar, whatever. And then, of course, I keep getting introduced to new people and new things. There is a person now that does the gene keys. It's GENE keys, KEYS, that I've been kind of watching and exploring a little bit. And so I do like to kind of up level and see what else is out there. A lot of this stuff now science is catching up with, like I talked about last Wednesday, or just a couple days ago, with the study where they did with the positive and negative words and energy and vibration, and how it can physically manifest into something tangible that people can see. So they're not like, what is this? Okay. So one of the things that does separate me and my peeps that do this is like when I call my reader, she does tarot, and I mentioned this before. She pulls cards, and she's really amazing. She's really intuitive, and she pulls she does the multiple decks at one time, and it's really great. I resonate with her. She taps into the energy. It's great. But that's what she does, right? So the difference is I'm able to not only read or get information, tap into the energy, whatever, but I'm also able to clear the stuff that comes up, or and this is even before the newer modality with the sacred soul alignments that I'm doing. They've just amped it up. I'm able to clear the space, clear the energy, make connections. I have done, I have helped with court cases and connecting the energy that way. I've helped with some other personal things. There have been people missing, kind of helped with that. I don't really want to talk about that live though, because I don't want to put their friends. So I don't want to put people's business out there. One of them didn't end it ended tragically. So, and then my personal, my other friend, so yes, so I am, especially with my friends, I can be very connected or in tuned, sometimes without realizing it. And that's been interesting. What else? Okay, so those are two different things I do, but I also can combine them. So if you're having some blocks or trying to up level or whatever, I will look at it intuitively, and then I will also help you get to where you want to go. 100%. Okay, so then number 3, such an onion. I also I'm sorry, it's probably really loud. I didn't realize I'm like playing with my crystals, and that's probably distracting. Um, Number three is I also have a social work background. I've been doing social work for, I don't know, years. And it seems like that's all I've ever done. But obviously, I was a child at one point, right? So, anyways, and I went from working with teenagers to adults, and um, literally helping people transition through their lives from down here to up here, and with goal setting, employment, abundance, to use like words that we use in the field, with financial, with not MBA finances, remember, not, but bringing in different sources of income, um, getting reconnected with who they are. A lot of the times when I have clients that are in all the things, like not the good stuff, and they're struggling, and you can be really disconnected from, I don't know, like your strengths or who you used to be. And it's interesting because you do like if it's a social work client, like I'm doing an intake or whatever, and even with readings, you're kind of, as I'm looking at the energy, I'm kind of getting a feel for the person or asking questions, right? And you hear someone sharing their story, and it might be sharing how they got to where they are now, like why they're not happy or something traumatic that happened, sharing a backstory, that sort of thing. And then their talk or their story, their present time story is just like, oh, I got to focus on this. If this one thing works, then I can focus on um, doing self-care, like going to the gym or going to an event, or I hear that all the time, like I just got to focus on this one thing, or my friend really needed me so I couldn't go to my therapy session, or I couldn't just go for a walk, like I had to be there for this person. um so I hear a lot of these where they are in present time. And then you're hearing their story, and you hear like all these things that they've done, like how successful they've been, all their strengths is what I always say. We pull out their strengths. Um, and I'm just like, wow, like some people, like I've never, like, I can't imagine being a female Marine, just and I've had clients that were female Marines, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, how much strength do you have? Like, girl, please, right? Like, we're going to find that. We're going to pull that out again. You know what I mean? Let's bring that forward. You can get through this. Like, if you can do that, you can do this. Like this is, oh, it's okay. So it's kind of just listening to what a person says, reminding them of their strengths, reminding them of their successes, and looking at where they are now, where they want to be, right? Usually when I'm working with people, they're absolutely not where they want to be right now, and they want to be in a better place. They want to be moving forward. They want to feel good about themselves. And that's what I do. I've been doing it for years. And I'm pretty good at it. And I'm really good at making connections with people. I'm really good at working with people and reminding them of who they are. Like, who who are you? Remember, we're not broken, right? We're not broken. Sometimes we're just disconnected, or we need our batteries changed, or whatever metaphor you want to use. But I will say there's not one person that I've ever worked with, whether it's in this new space or in the social work space, or just even as a friend. There's nobody that I've ever worked with who didn't have such a strong backstory. I've had people that have had like businesses or owned homes, or they raised like all these kids, like their kids are all adults now and stuff. And yeah, they're in a spot right now, but like look at all of these things that they've done, or look at, all of these things that they've accomplished. And even though right now, I mean, I'm very accomplished, but did 3 years ago I have an extremely horrible relationship just kind of pop into my life unexpectedly and completely took me down to ground zero again? Absolutely, I did. Did I get out of it and did I build myself back up? Yes, I did. Do I surround myself with amazing people now and amazing friends? And I work every day, or not even, well, I guess work is some days. Yes, this week has been a little bit of work, but I work on myself and I do things for myself every day, even when I feel like I just want to lay in bed. Sometimes I do just lay in bed. But like today, like I have a live at noon. I show up. I have CrossFit every Tuesdays and Thursdays. This week was a real struggle. This week was really releasing some stuck stuff. I think I have some stuff like stuck in my legs. And it seems like when my legs are getting activated, my whole body is kind of getting activated. So I'm aware of that now. And I know that that's kind of I'm going to get emotional. I've been kind of working through the muscle part of it. I know that the stuff's going to come up during a workout, and I'm allowing it to do that now. Instead of going into a panic attack or thinking that people are going to judge me, or that Coach Josh is going to tell me never to show up at CrossFit again because I can't get the bike up to 40. I think it was 40. I don't know. He'd love 50, but I'd love 50. Are you kidding me? I'd love 60. Like, hello, I used to bodybuild, but we're not there right now. It's okay. So we're just working all this through. So those are the three things I do. And those are the three things that I do, whether it's one-on-one, in a setting, group setting, Zoom. I've done them for my friends for years. The only difference is obviously if I'm at work, excuse me, in a social work setting, I'm not sitting here going, hey, can I connect with your energy? Like that'd be weird. I would be weirded out if I walked into a social worker's office or a therapist and they were like, we're going to run some energy first. You know what I mean? Like I'll do the meditations. And I had one, oh my gosh. So when I was going through the stuff 3 years ago, she's not there now. She works in VA in Arizona, but I had this amazing, she wasn't even so she was a nurse. I think she was a psychiatric nurse practitioner, something. I know she could do meds. So I'm not in the medical field, obviously. But it just so happened she was on the team that they had put me on. And then when all the stuff blew up with the relationship that I was in, and I was seeing her, and I remember I went in and the tension was so bad, like not only the emotional and the crying and all the stuff, but like I walked in and I literally could not move my shoulders. My whole back was like locked up, like the stress and the tension was so bad. She reaches in her desk and like pulls out this whole like makeup bag of oils and was like, here, are you open to using some oils? And I'm like, okay. And this is before I was even into oils like I am now, right? And she gives me some frankincense and myrrh oils and I rub them on. And I'm telling you, by the time I left the office to go home, I was already like, oh my God, thank you. Like I can move. I feel so much more amazing. Like she was on point. And she was very good about helping me maneuver. I ended up being pregnant with my son. And so medication wasn't really an option. And we were able to find one that was more magnesium and folate based. That is absolutely amazing for magnesium studies. And you can Google. Magnesium has been proven now, and it's being kind of pushed to the forefront for use with depression and different mental health things. Consult your doctor. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not giving medical advice. However, I'm just letting you know things that I've experienced that I absolutely know work. They worked for me, and you can consult with your doctor and ask about them. You can Google. WebMD is not a doctor. I know, crazy. There's not a real doctor on the other end. So if you do Google about the magnesium studies and you want to take that to your doctor, I recommend that. I see, yes, I have free VA care. That's been a whole issue with, I won't get into that right now. But I do see a private doctor, and I was able to let her know, like, these are things that have worked for me before with the magnesium, the folate, and more natural remedies for mental health and my overall health with my endometriosis. And she's been amazing, and she is on point with what she provides for me. So those are some things you can look into if you are looking for things that help that are more natural. I've also started using, which I didn't for a while because I was kind of weird about the whole CBD thing. But I do, and I don't usually, it's over here on my desk. I don't see it right now. I use Young Living essential oils now. And I also use I just started this month using their Calm, CALM, CBD roller, and I don't have it up here, which is weird. But anyways, I use the Calm CBD roller, just, some on the arms, kind of right here. Sometimes I'll put a little bit, it just depends on what the oil is. My hair's so hot. Depends on what the oil is, honestly. Oh, sorry. It's like pulling on my hair. And then I have so anyways, so that seems to help as well. There's some oils. There's one they make called Valor that I use. Oh my gosh, I use that a lot. That one for sure. I have my Mala, right? And on the Mala, this I got, it was a gift. I'm not going to give away all the goods of where I got it, but those that have one, there are other people that have this almost exact one. They know. So anyway, so it's actually got different, oh my gosh, I'm so terrible at this. Different chakra, because I'm into crystals, so I know what they are. That's like a sodalite, and there is I don't see any of the other ones. Oh, here's a tiger's eye. Where is it? There's the camera, which you can't really tell because it's brown. And the rest of the beads are brown. There is I actually don't know what this is. I don't know if it's emerald. You can't really see because I don't have it's dark outside today, so the light's not coming in. There's an amethyst. But anyways, on this one, there's lava beads. And so I'll put the Valor on my, I'll have this on, or I have a chakra one with lava beads, and I'll put the essential oil Valor on, and literally I'll just be kind of out in public or getting ready to drive, and I have some on right now. So amazing. But Valor was specifically Young Living. It's a blend that was created by Young Living that specifically was done to help with PTSD, recovery, or not recovering. Well, I guess recovery, but because some of us, are in recovery and moving forward. But it's amazing. It helps with anxiety. I'm part of the Wounded Warrior peer support group, and I go every month. And there is another female veteran there, and she's got a great story. I am going to feature her on this in the group soon, hopefully with the oils, because she's my oil guru. But she has done, where she goes and tells, she has a very powerful story, and she tells her story and shows the different ways for oils, and then we make some. So in the group, we've done this, she's done this a few times, and then I use the oils regularly, and I have my rollers and for stress, and we have rollers just to clear chest congestion. We have the rollers for the spine. Like if someone even sneezes, I'm like, where's the thieves roller? Let's get this stuff, We used it when COVID first started. I was like, before we even knew it was COVID, one of our littles had gotten sick, and I was like literally thieves all over everybody. And so a lot of us, the rest of the family, didn't get it as bad. But anyways, what we do for some of the other veterans that are in our peer support group is we, like I'll make rollers for the guys because they're not necessarily like getting oils, but I do recommend guys or girls get oils. And they use them for stress, and they ask for them continuously, like, hey, I ran out, or hey, can you make me another one? We just had one of the guys got his truck stolen, and all his calming stuff was in the truck, so that obviously doesn't help. And he was like, hey, can you make one of those things again? I don't know how to make it. So it does work. And I know people, especially with Young Living, which their oils are amazing. And yes, I do have a link if you want to get some. It actually, I think it's on my personal page and on my Instagram. But I know that people get caught up on them being an MLM or whatever, which I don't really pay attention to. I honestly don't pay attention to it. One of the reasons why is when I go into Walmart, I don't worry about the cashier and their manager and their supervisor, and then the person above them managing the district, or the person who owns Walmart. Like all of that is trickling down income. Like everybody is getting paid. Everyone needs to make a living. I'm under my friend that I just talked about. Like she's amazing. Like when I'm buying oils, if I'm helping support her amazing family, absolutely I will. You know what I mean? Like her knowledge, just what she shared with me, and the stuff that I've learned, like I have literally been healing my body with oils. And when you like, I'm going to have to I'm going to see her tonight. Actually, we have an escape room event going on tonight with Wounded Warrior Project. I am going to be like, girl, next week, Wednesday or Friday, what's up? I would love to have her share her story. When I first heard it, I was kind of like, it's a powerful story. But when she was talking about how she used oils and got off all her medication the VA was trying to pacify her with, because I don't want to give away her story. It's really powerful. But she uses oils, she uses the Young Living products with her family, and they're all very healthy. She's very healthy, and I can call her with anything, and she's like, do this. There's been a few things that she's recommended that I was resistant to buying because I'm just like, oh, it's just probably another oil that Young Living's pushing, right? And then I've used it and I've been like, whoa, and I've had really great experiences with castor oil, healing numerous parts of my body. I used to have a high hairline, right here, and really there was no hair. And I've actually been growing new hair, thickening my hair, using essential oils and castor oil. So if you have any questions about that, but I will do, that's a whole kind of live stream itself. I'm already at 45 minutes. So that's something that I was kind of looking forward to next week if it works out, and sharing that information with you either on a live Wednesday or Friday. That way I can actually show some of the oils, if I can get Kira on or my friend on, to kind of do, whether we do a Zoom or whether we meet up and stream it, because she's got all these fancy cameras and stuff she uses, I think, because she has fun live streams on her Instagram and her Facebook. Sometimes she does fun stories and all that. She's all into she's got the social media stuff down. She also does guest speaking appearances for a lot of veteran organizations, and women organizations have asked her, as she has shared her story, somebody will listen to it and be like, hey, can you speak at my event? And so she's kind of been branching out where she shares her story as she's actually a Purple Heart recipient, a Purple Heart veteran, and her journey with healing and her using oils. And so anytime someone wants to scoff at oils or the MLM part of it, I literally am just like, no. So, whatever. Okay. So, what was the other thing? I talked a lot this time. Okay, so I will do watch party. And, oh, okay. So, my lipstick. So I did, and note to self, don't wear a bold red lip if you're going to be going to the store and you're going to have to wear a mask. Yeah, that's what COVID's come to now. Bold red lip all over your face. Just saying. So I have talked about before, one of the people, like, I consider her one of my current mentors right now. She's I don't know, just a really overall great energy, good person. And she has a community called the Light Beamers community. And I'm going to link her. She's going to be my link for this live video or this live stream. And I don't know how to say her last name. I'm sorry. Her first name is April. It's her last name's, it doesn't look like a hard name to pronounce, but when she pronounces it, I feel like I pronounce it wrong. So April has a Light Beamers community group. She was a journalist. Now she, and I've mentioned her before, she teaches people to tell their story or share their story in effective ways. Or just if someone's just like, I want to do this, this, and this, and part of that is telling your story, and they've never done lives before, and they've never been so public on social media, especially after experiencing major traumas and kind of being in hiding and having a lot of fear in their space, and then clearing that out. And then they decide to help other people on a larger level and be on social media and be public and not live in a fear space anymore. Not this girl. That's a big transition. And when you have all these stories, the good and the bad, how do you maneuver that, or what do you pull out, or what is it that's going to reach the right people, to reach the right people? Like for me, right now, this is just kind of me chatting and stuff and sharing what I do. But, there's times where I've had people, I don't know, like clients come in or walk into my office or text me, or just friends. And, they're having a day or whatever. And I I share some of my story, because in that moment, it's helpful to their healing. And I'm usually, especially with clients, I'm not giving away too much or whatever, because when they come in, it's not necessarily about you, but just letting people know that there are certain things I understand. I understand, different traumas, unfortunately. I understand building your life back up. I understand, continued healing. And I understand being in the in-between and trying to be on the other side of it, thinking that you're good and you're not feeling good, but, trying to get to where you feel good. And so that, instead of your days consistently just feeling blah with some good days in the mix, now I consistently feel good. Excuse me, consistent feel good. And then I have the usual stressors or, you know, squishy days in the, you know, like throughout that way. So it's flipped. Thank you. Right. Because I showed up for myself. So people are showing up for themselves. They'll come in and I'll share some of my story. Well, then I realized that when you're on a platform like this, or when you're public, or when I'm looking to write a bio even, or maybe sit down and do a blog or do my courses or workshops, and, you know, you're sharing pieces of you with people, what's important, what isn't, what's too much, what's just enough, you know, what am I still maybe, you know, maybe I'm not really being as vulnerable as I could, and it would be useful to the topic I'm talking about, or to the client that I'm working with. And it's really kind of breaking out of that thinking you're vulnerable, and maybe you're not being as vulnerable as you could. So April is amazing at really helping you connect with your story and giving you a platform or a space within her group. Like, she has live Wednesdays, and she'll give you a topic, and you go on live for, you know, a few minutes, whatever it is, and talk about the topic. There's days where she'll post something, I think it's Mondays, and it's like a picture, and you write like how it makes you feel, or what kind of story it invokes. So it gets you kind of writing, you know, whether it's personal or just what the pictures, you know, if it's a memory, like whatever it is. And then she has some other, like, each day is a theme, you know, in her group. However, she has started a podcast, and I always talk about how I'm so overloaded on podcasts. So I'm trying to watch everyone's cast. I am binge watching or listening to April's podcast right now. I think I just finished episode 4. It is so good, so honest. It's so her. It's just light, direct, welcoming energy. And 3 is the one that I'm going to link down today. I absolutely recommend you listen to it. She interviews, and right now, I'm sorry, I can't remember the person's name. Is it Sandra? I'm not sure. I think it starts with an S. She does interview someone and the topic is called The Long Game. And the person that she interviews is a friend of hers who also has a podcast called The Long Game. April's podcast is called The Inside Story, which she goes into kind of how she got the name, but it's completely perfect for her and for what she does, what she's been doing for the past few years, and what she was doing years before that as a journalist, and how she relates to people now. Definitely pulls out the inside story. And she was interviewing this person, and it's called with the podcast, it's called The Long Game. And it was so interesting because right now, like, feedback topics, like things that have been coming up in my personal space, you know, just with, like, even listening to this podcast, I was like, oh my gosh, here's this message again. And it's really about showing up. Last night I was at CrossFit. It's sidebar. Last night I was at CrossFit, and I was struggling a little bit. Because, like I said, it's for me, CrossFit is more than just a workout. It's also kind of where I just allow myself to feel other things and work through some of my stuff. And I'm trying to get this trauma that's stored in my body out of the body, through the workouts, and, you know, overcoming the mental and all that stuff. And I don't know, like I just keep showing up, right? Like, I could choose not to show up. And there's been a couple times where I've questioned, don't tell my coach. But that I've questioned, like, am I, like, I'll try to use the excuses like, oh, maybe my body's not ready, or maybe like my in-body was not what I expected at all, like, at all. we just had InBody on Tuesday, and it was so disappointing. And I'm like, maybe I had these thoughts, like I'm being authentic. Maybe this isn't what I should be doing right now. Maybe I should just ask Josh if I can pick up the next program. Absolutely not. Like, absolutely not. So I showed up today or yesterday. So I showed up, that was Tuesday, and I showed up for Thursday because I'm going to show up for myself until he literally like tells me never to walk through that door again. I am absolutely going to show up for myself. And I'm going to try my best, and I'm going to listen to him push me to get it up to 40, even when my body is like, no, and my mind is like starting to cry because my body's not, getting to where I want it to be. And I'm going through all these emotions. I'm looking at the long game, right? I've already seen the improvements. I've been healing my body. It's been an amazing journey. It's not going to let patience is something I'm working on. But 100% I can say that me being in this Chalk Up for Burpees program, and I rolled into the next one because of how my body is right now, or the health. I don't know if it's health, I guess it's probably health. Is he felt I needed to be and go into the next cohort, which I agreed. I completely agreed. It was a very great decision. I was actually worried about like how I was going to do in a regular class now, as opposed, I used to 2 years ago. But I'm looking at the long game. So I'm listening to this podcast on the way back, no less. And they're talking about the long game. They're talking about just showing up. They're talking about starting from step one. All these things that I help people do, what I do with my clients when they come in and they're just like, my life is a hot effing mess. I'm not happy. And I don't feel like a good person. I don't feel like a good mom. I don't feel like a good dad. I don't feel like I have anything to offer anybody. I haven't had anyone helping me, and I'm like, let's hear your story, right? And I didn't realize, like, this is what I do too. I'm like, let's hear your story. Like, what were you doing before? What's your background? What kind of jobs have you had? Where are you coming from? What'd you do in the military? Like these different things. And you're pulling out their strengths and reminding them of who they are. And you're like, okay, where is it you want to be? We're not, hi, Katie. We're not trying to I'm talking about the long game. We're not trying to fix all the things right this second, right now, just like, boom, you're fixed. It's not logical, especially when there's so many like tangible things that need fixed. If someone's coming in and, they've had not only the mental health affected, especially if there's been trauma, and, now they're in a divorce or housing situation, or their credit, or their relationships, are just kind of a disaster. Their relationships with their kids, whatever it is, they're coming in and like, now's not the time to be like, oh, you want to be there? Tomorrow we can do it, or like, why aren't you doing this? Or why haven't you been doing this? Absolutely not. So one of the things they were talking about in the podcast, and that I also do, that I've been doing for years, is you look at where someone's at. They're coming to you right now, and you listen. I know I talk a lot on the live streams because I'm here. But you listen and you pull out their strengths. That's one of the number one things I do when I work with people. You pull out their strengths. You listen to their stories. You listen to who they are, not who they were. That's part of it, but who they are. All these things that they've accomplished is who that person is. What they want to do right now, them showing up to make changes, them showing up to get help. That is strength. Like, that is courage, that is strength, that is vulnerability, that is them stepping up, and the most honest way to show up for themselves. So then we kind of look at, okay, if this is where you want to be, let's just pull out like 3 or 5 things that we need to do to get there, right? No big deal. Little things. It could be even a big thing. No big deal, right? Like it could be a big thing like, oh, I need to get a job. Like I lost my job. I need to get a job. Or it could be something smaller. I mean, is it smaller though? Like, oh, I used to love going to a yoga class, right? Which I obviously am very workout oriented. I 100% think everybody should be doing some kind of fitness, something physical to help with healing and to help with trauma, whether it's a yoga class, you go work out, you go for a walk, you go for a run, doing your tapping, doing your stretching, doing your, breaking up the muscles, all that physical things too. So I don't think it's necessarily a little thing, but that's something easier, like, okay, you want to do a yoga class? I had a client, she wanted to do something physical and she was really interested in, it wasn't jujitsu. What is it? Tai Chi. So we worked, and I say we, her and I, this is co-creating, I'm not doing things for people. I help with resources and then help them make those connections, and they're essentially doing it. And, that's empowerment. So she ended up going to a Tai Chi studio and it was amazing for her. Not only was it her going and doing something physical, she was making new friends. She expanded her network of support and her community, and she was getting out of her house, which she hadn't been doing prior. And it also helped with her sleeping and her overall well-being. So that was something small that we call like SMART goals, where you can take something smaller, it's tangible, it's easy to do. It gives that person, it gives you something that you can use right away. Why am I mentioning this? Because it's good for the long game. It's your first step. It is successful. It is something that you can accomplish super easy, usually fairly easy. I mean, finding someone, especially when I work in nonprofits and stuff, there's a lot of resources out there for people, whether it's like lower price gym memberships or people sponsoring other people for gym memberships, workout classes. I mean, going on a walk is free. Going out for a hike is free. Going for a run. There are organizations like, I'm on leadership team with Team RWB, Team Red, White, and Blue. You do not have to be a veteran to be a part of our organization. And it is a national organization. So just about anywhere, especially big cities, outlying big cities, there are chapters. You can join, and it is very fitness oriented. They have, I know they have a yoga in the morning, and I don't remember which day because it's like 7 a.m. And sometimes I'm like, I don't wake up at 5 a.m. anymore like I used to. But it's great. It's virtual, so you can do it from home. Because, with COVID happening and stuff, but they have a lot of virtual events regardless of COVID, where it'll be like national. Team RWB will post a workout series. Like we had March Madness. Let me tell you about March Madness. And it's literally like CrossFit workouts, like CrossFit games. I'm just saying. Oh, CrossFit games start today. Woohoo! Speaking of which, little sidebar. But the CrossFit, now I'm all excited. I'm like, CrossFit games. They're just so inspiring. But the March Madness with Team RWB, I did it for the first time this year. The workouts were amazing. But they also do them, because it's national, they had them posted virtually too. And they would post, like, you can go on. They have an app, which is amazing. I wish all the veteran organizations I was a part of had apps. And some people know who I'm talking about because I've expressed this. However, Team RWB has an app, and you can go on it and, you can sign up, check in, and you can click on what the event is for the day. So let's say it's a workout of the day, which they call a WOD. And you click on it, it'll tell you about the workout, but then sometimes they include a video and they will actually show you the workout. In Kansas City, our chapter has this couple that is amazing, and they work at a fitness center in northern KC, and they will personally post videos of what the workout is of the day, how to do it, how to modify it, because not everyone can go all out. You know, some of us need a little, modifications. And then for those that need even more modifications, they'll post the variations for that too. So National does that. So one of the things I like about Team RWB is even if you don't necessarily have a local active chapter in your area, you can still be a part of the organization. You don't have to be a veteran to be a part of the organization. Obviously, it is we have a certain mission, enriching veterans' lives through physical fitness. Oh my gosh, if anyone's watching this, please. But anyways, I know I should have it completely memorized word for word. However, that's what we do. And, a lot of people do the runs. We do walks together. I know our chapter does a Tuesday and Thursday walk on the Kansas side and one's on the Missouri side. And we get together and it's really nice. And the only reason I'm not there is because I have my Chalk Up for Burpees class at the same time. And I'm not able to make it over there to walk with everybody. But when I do get a chance to do it, I do. The group is great here in Kansas City. If you're in the KCMO or KCK, no, KC, I don't know, whatever, the Kansas side of Kansas City, I recommend coming to some of our events. So welcoming, so friendly. There's volunteer components. We're always involved in the community. We do have partnerships with some of the veteran organizations here in Kansas City that we specifically are partnered with and that we work with on a regular basis. The Veterans Community Project, Wounded Warrior Project, and actually we're partnered with them nationally. So that's the partnership with Wounded Warrior Project and Team RWB is actually a national partnership. Veterans Community Project, they're expanding. However, they are based here in Kansas City. They just announced that they got land for St. Louis, and they are starting to build in Longmont, Colorado. And they do tiny homes for homeless veterans. And I worked there for quite a while, and I was a case manager with the residents in the tiny homes, and it's transitional housing. They come in and they're just in all the things and they want to make some changes, and it gives them a stable place to live and relax. And it's not in a shelter where there's all the chaos and they're worried about their stuff getting stolen and all the things anyone who's in the field knows. Everything when they're crammed in a 5 room. And like when I worked in San Diego, it's a little more difficult trying to get people kind of at baseline and feeling stable enough so they can kind of move out of survival mode constantly every day. They're in survival mode, and move them into a space where they can start making some positive changes. So I did that for a while. They're amazing. There are actually tiny homes for veterans, but now it's expanding to other just civilian populations. There's been villages built that are just built just for women, women families, some that, experiencing domestic violence, but instead of once again in the shelter setting, they're actually like little tiny homes with, your bathroom, kitchen, the whole deal. And I think it is an amazing, to me, that is like one of the best housing first models ever. I have worked for head VASH at the VA, so I have experienced different models with that, and where I worked for a national, I think they're national, I'm pretty sure they're national organization in San Diego before too. So I absolutely know what I'm talking about. And I know the program that Josh put together for VCP is on point, It's very thorough, and I loved it. Like the minute I heard about it, I was like, what is this amazingness? So there are other places modeling their program, and I know Nine Line, the clothing. Oh, I don't have a shirt on today, but Nine Line is a clothing. It's veteran owned as well. It's a it started off as a clothing line, I guess. They have a village down in Georgia, and there's one in Wisconsin that you just Google. Actually, nowadays you can Google in your area like tiny homes for veterans or tiny homes for homeless or whatever it is, and a place will pop up, usually in the city. I'm on a lot of different groups and that where people need help, and a lot of us on there are very resourceful and helpful or work in the field. And there's plenty of times when someone's posted from like, I don't know, Florida, and I'm able to just go online and find them, you know, food banks, resources, shelters. Sometimes when you're in it, you just can't think. We're also, Team RWV is also partnered with After Action Network, which is also an organization that is based here in Kansas City. I am friends with the people that founded and are running it. They are amazing. They've done amazing programs, or they have amazing programs. We're actually going to an event today, their first annual Halloween event. The kids are really upset about not being able to trick or treat this year. They are hosting an event. It starts at 3. After Action Network, you can go on their website. They have a resource link. You can put in your zip code anywhere in the nation. You can put in your zip code, and I'll say it. I've used 211 before. I've used it for clients. Before I realized how extensive it was, I would refer people to it. Yeah. So no. It's whatever, it's been a struggle. So there are different areas that have better 211s than others, but for the most part, After Action Network, when I checked out their resource link, I was like, what? I refer anyone who comes to me now. If I don't know an actual, like, here, go to this resource or go to this place, I will either go on and look and help them. I'm actually volunteered to be a veteran navigator for After Action Network. So after we get some of the paperwork done, I will be doing that volunteer wise. I've been a veterans benefit specialist before. I've helped write benefit packages and compensation packages. So I am pretty experienced in that side of it too. I worked for Salt Lake County for a while. So I've done a few different things. But my point is that you can go on there, put in your zip code, and it literally connects you to national resources, your local resources. There are organizations that provide services, and they're not all of them necessarily are only for veterans, but that provide specific for veterans. There are so many services and organizations that are providing with COVID, because everybody got, not everybody, but a lot of the nonprofits and people that help for immediate needs for resources, they all got the CARE funding, I think it was called. And so not only do they have their own grant funding, but they got all this federal funding. And so they're just like, if you need a resource, if you need help with bills, if you need help with housing, if you need mental health, whatever it is, like all the things, you can go on After Action Network's website. You click on, it'll show, like, you just scroll down and it'll say resources, enter your zip code. You enter your zip code, it'll show a list of specific areas, mental health, dental, housing, employment, whatever it is, all the things. And you click on it, and then it will literally give you all the national and all the ones for your area if they're connected. Now, if you're listening and you offer any of these resources, you go on the website and think, oh, I can offer a resource for, I know of an organization that's not on here in my area that would be really amazing for people, please email them, reach out to them. You can DM me, that's fine too. And let us get connected to that resource, because it goes out to everybody. And it would be amazing. And you're really helping and healing at the larger level. You can look at it, the long game. Once again, this might be just a resource link. Maybe you're just helping someone pay their electric bill. It's way more than that. People, when they're in the stress of it, they can't make a car payment or whatever it is, mental health, just health in general, getting connected to those things. A lot of resources with mental health. It might be someone who has sliding scale. It might be someone able to use the grants. It could be someone that, say if I go in and I pay for somebody, I'm also sponsoring someone else, or I pay for myself. I mean, there's programs where you pay and pay for another person, or like a veteran or whatever. And it could be mental health where it's therapy. It could be mental health where it's like yoga or, health related classes. All of that affects healing. So April's podcast, and Team RWB. Team RWB, you can go on, just Google Team RWB and it'll come up. You sign up on the national page. And when you sign up, it will direct you to the closest chapter in your area. And it will send an email to the chapter captain or the chapter person, and they should email you back and get back to you. If for some reason they don't and you're concerned, I mean, you can reach out to me and I can reach out to my captain to see if he can do something. He's very resourceful and amazing. But it's not just all about, I know it's always looks like it's always running. And there's so many people in my group that run marathons and 10Ks all the time. And it's so inspiring. I can barely walk a mile right now, which is terrible because I used to run 3 miles a day. So it's not just running. There are workouts. Don't be intimidated. They are scaled. You can do them virtually. You can do them in your home where nobody sees you. You can go and meet other people. Like I said, it's not just veterans. Usually somebody has somebody, their family was military, whatever. But it's some people just like to be active and they support what we're doing. We do community service. That's why I was mentioning the partnerships we have specifically in Kansas City. And then Wounded Warrior Project is a national partnership we have at the national level. And if you go on the website, the national website, you can see what other partnerships Team RWB has like nationally. And then when you're in your chapter, you can find out which programs or which partnerships they have in the community. I will say I am the community engagement coordinator for the Kansas City chapter. If you are in this area and you're listening to this and you would be interested in us coming, usually it's just a little group of us, we put it out to the chapter, if we're not already involved in an event or, we have enough people interested, we will come as a team and volunteer. And we've done numerous things. We did food banks, we've done care packages, we did Toys for Tots. Especially this chapter, they're amazing. They're so giving. So if you do have an interest in partnering with us or with us volunteering, please let me know. That you can DM me directly. There's me and Marilyn, who are the CECs for this chapter, and we can help get that set up and work with our leadership team and the chapter captain to see what we need to do and to see what our chapter here is interested in as a whole and participating with. Okay, so these are all wellness things that I help with. So with April's podcast, The Long Game, that she did, that was podcast number 3 that she did. I will be posting that if anyone's interested in watching it. And like I said, it was really it was really good information. It was really good reminders of starting from step one. Starting from scratch. Excuse me. Not getting so caught up in where you want to be, in the sense that it's stressing you out or you're feeling like, why am I not there yet? Like I mentioned on Wednesday, tapping into your resources, tapping into the support you need, finding a mentor, finding a therapist, finding a community, finding a healer or coach, finding somebody that you resonate with and that you can work with and that you can start working on your long game, but that can help you focus on what it is you need now, to start with now, and what you can build on and what you can, make it to the end, whatever your end result is. And it could be something easy like, 30 days from now, you just want to be down a pant size. I don't know. It could be anything. Or I think I've mentioned this before. Like it could be like, I want an extra, whatever, $500 or something. And I had planned on talking about some fun manifesting tricks, or I don't know if they're tricks, but skills, fun activities. And I might do that next week now because it was on my list. I have a little post-it list, but I didn't get to it. But I do recommend April's podcast. Number 4 was about feminism. And she said something interesting where before she had said that, or she was saying before when she was reflecting on it, she realized that she never would have coined herself a feminist, but now she's like, absolutely. I am a voice and a strength for women and them being in their power. And I was like, girl, I resonate with that like 100%, because if you had asked me even, I don't know, probably a couple of years ago, I have friends that are feminists, no big deal. Like, it's great. I love it. But now I would say I'm probably would be put in that category. I am very outspoken, especially about survivors, which is a word I don't usually use. But I will say survivors of MST from, which is serving as a female, male too as well. Actually, I shouldn't even say just female. But the high percentages females that come forward and that I have the most experience with military sexual trauma, or just the way in general that the lifestyle is when you're in the military and when you're out. And just in general, with females dealing with trauma, with domestic violence, with sexual assault, things that unfortunately I have experienced at different times in my life. And I'm not hiding. I'm not fearful about sharing my story, what people think, etc. It is unfolding in different ways, but I'm very outspoken about women getting supported, about trauma being healed, and about us being in our power and us having a voice and moving forward. She was talking about how, and I don't know if it was in both podcasts or one or the other, where she was talking, she made reference to another podcast she was listening to where they said that women are, when they stay, like, more accepted when they stay small. And she was like, April was like, absolutely not. Like, and that's what I think the person was saying too. But, and I was like listening to this last night and I'm like, dude, do I need to post like podcast 3 or podcast 4? They're both amazing. But it's about, not staying small. And you see this bold red lip? It's bold. It's very red. And April has her story about her red dress. I have always been about the bold red lip and I love it. This actually, I did bring this. This is a Naughty is the New Nice, just in case you want this. Let me see it. There's just a tad bit of shimmer in it. It's gorgeous. But it's a Kylie Whoa. The Kylie lip kit. I'm assuming it was a lip kit. Sometimes I buy her singles because I have both, and the lip kits come with the liner and the red. I love this color. Um, was listening to something last week and was so inspired, and I'm like, ooh, I'm going to do a bold red lip today, right? Then we went to the store and I wore a mask and I removed it, and my daughter like bust out in a million hysterical giggles. I had red all over my face, and I was like, oh, yeah. So I did the bold red lip. We are going to an event later. I might have to take it off. But for the most part, the lip kits don't come off. So FYI, anybody who wants a lasting lip, her lip line for liquid lips is amazing. See, I'm helpful in all kinds of ways. All right, so I'm gonna go. I gotta get ready. We gotta get the kids ready. I'm really excited about today. We have the Halloween party with After Action Network. And so it's a fun time with those guys. And then I have the escape room, which I've never done an escape room. And I'm so obsessed. When I was younger, I had the old school Nancy Drew books, like the books that probably, I don't even know when actually Carolyn King wrote the Nancy Boy and Hardy Boy, or the Nancy Drew and Hardy Boy books. But I had this like maybe when my parents were, I know they're pretty old, but they were like these old little square, like cardboard twine bound. I mean, they were old books, and I had this whole box collection. They're probably worth millions now. I don't know. They were left at a foster family I lived with because I was in foster care at one point, but I had been gifted. It was like some library was having like a let's get out the old books book sale because they had upgraded to the new ones. And I read those books. I love Nancy Drew. She's like my spirit animal, my soul, my higher self. I don't know. So I'm really excited about the escape room. My daughter's birthday is this weekend, so she's coming with me, and we have an escape room today, and then tomorrow's another event with the peer support group. I don't remember where it's at. Dave & Buster's? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'll have to look at my calendar. But anyway, so we have a few exciting things going on this weekend, and with friends, and I'm super excited. Super excited to win tonight. I don't know what's winning. Getting through the escape room, working as a team together, or solving it all and being the first out. What? No, I'm just kidding. No, I work really well in teams. So anyways, it'll be super fun. I will be doing a watch party at some point today, or I will do it. If I don't do it tonight, I will do it tomorrow for sure. I think I have a cohort get together tomorrow too. Oh my gosh, this is what happens. This is why I take Saturdays off too, because I just get completely booked with volunteering and a lot of friend events. Because I consider the people in my vet orgs, it's not always a volunteering event. Sometimes it's just, getting together and having some fun, community, network of support, that kind of thing. I think I have a cohort event tomorrow too. So I hope everyone is having a exciting weekend. And I am going to wait till after the watch party to do any random live drawing kind of thing. So if you didn't, let me know that because I see the numbers. I don't know who's on and who's not on, except for I did see Katie because she said hi. So I don't know if you've watched the video. I do see how many views, obviously, later on here on YouTube. Unless you leave a comment or let me know that you did catch the broadcast, especially during the watch party, to either, to put your name kind of in the, if you're interested in getting an hour healing, reading, whatever it is that you want. If you're not sure, you can still get one and see what happens. Those are always the most interesting. So just let me know that you showed up, and then I'll do a random drawing and someone will get a hour-long healing or reading, whatever it is you need. You can just vent. I'll listen. Oh, and then for those that haven't had any healings or readings, I mean, obviously you can book one. If you've never had one before, you can go on my website, bravelyauthenticliving.com. We have the Bravely Authentic, obviously, is the name, but Bravely Authentic Living is the website name, is the Facebook link, and the Instagram link, just because it narrows me down a little bit. And we are Bravely Authentic Living. So you can go to the website and click on services and see what's offered. But if you click on appointments and scroll down, it's either appointment, I want to say it's appointments, and you scroll all the way down, it'll show where you can book. And this is for people that haven't had healings with me yet. You can book 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I don't know. I always go over. It's terrible. I'm working on boundaries. But you can schedule a free mini healing with me and see what the energy is all about. Like I said, it's you can ask a question. Intuitive reading, could be healing. It could be me just getting us grounded, and I'll run the energy and kind of see what pops up and give you feedback, and we go from there. And then if you've had a reading or healing, I mean, they're essentially within the same appointment. You just, when you schedule, during the appointment time, we kind of talk about what it is you're looking for. You can, I think it's $30 right now for 20 minutes. So you can schedule a mini healing. If you want something longer than the 20 minutes, we can look at that. Most of the stuff is through like PayPal and Square and stuff anyways, like on the booking, the way the booking's set up through the website. So like with my my reader, I'll call her and let's say I book for 30 minutes and it's like $45 or something, right? And then we go over time and we ended up talking for 45 minutes or an hour. All I do is just, excuse me, we just add the extra on and then I just send her through PayPal. So we can do the same thing. If you want an hour, we can discuss that. And you know, if it's just the mini healing reading and it goes over and the initial $30, then we can look at just sending the PayPal kind of thing. I do have the transformational healing and support set up for the single sessions, which kind of is, it says a week long. And the reason why that is you schedule, that's more intensive. That's like if you're working through some stuff. And that's why the price is higher. You're getting one-on-one, like I'm available support. Not only do you get the initial, like, let's see where you're at. What is it, you know, like, why did you schedule this? What is it you need help with? And we look at like what I can help you with. I give you personalized, targeted alignments and meditations to listen to. You get, basically you get supported throughout the week with whatever it is you're working on, whether it's a block, or let's say you have something coming up and you're trying to get in the mindset or the mind space for it, you're getting prepared, you have something that you feel a goal or, you know, just a healing. I don't want to do a major healing on somebody and just kind of leave them like, okay, like with the mini healing, it's a little different. We're not going as intensive. I mean, are we? Sometimes we are. But anyways, there's more with the single session packages. And with the packages, you're getting the support, not just right when we're on the Zoom and we're doing the hour long. You're getting the support throughout the week. So if stuff's coming up, like say the next day you're processing and you're like, oh, I've had a headache, or oh, I'm back, you can send me that message. Well, I'll work on some energy, work on the alignments. Like you're getting personalized attention and personalized healing and support, aftercare, whatever word you want to put on it, follow up throughout the week. So if you're booking that single session, you're not just getting an hour-long reading kind of thing. You're getting support as you're working through this for the week. If you choose to book for the next week and the next week, that's okay too. One of the things that I did is I set up 30-day packages. So that would be 4 weeks basically. And it ends up being a discounted price than if you booked weekly. And also it gives us a larger time frame. There's a few more things built into it that are added in for more support. Let's say you're working through, you call me initially, we're working through some stuff. The next week we're working on something else. You'll get different alignments, a different, recording to listen to, a different goal we're working on, that sort of thing. Like I said, someone comes to me and they're like, oh, I'm looking for help in, getting employment. And then they're like, I'd also like to do a yoga class. Obviously, the yoga class is something we can do a lot faster. And then we work on the steps for employment. Do you have a resume? Do you, where have you been looking? Do you have a LinkedIn, or have you been on Indeed, or, you know what I mean? Like those kind of things. Have you been to the workforce in your community? Like that kind of stuff. And so it's the same concept. I mean, you can call me if you need help with employment too, as well. But whatever it is, and you book your session or you book your time frame, either the week, the 30 days, there is 60 days and 90 days. So 3 months or 1 month, 3 months, or 6 months, you can book depending on, how long-term your goal is, what it is you want to work on. And we look at the, kind of the end game, we look at the long game, and then we look at what it is that we can start working on now and getting you to where you want to be. And we do it through clearing blocks, healing trauma, changing your space from a lower vibration to a higher vibration. And then we also work, with the tangible things. I'm very resourceful, like I mentioned earlier. And yeah, so we go from there. So you are always welcomed, and I encourage you to book any of those with me. You can you can DM me, direct message me on Messenger, set a comment that you want me to contact you, and I will contact you or DM you to set up a call and see if that, I am a good fit, if we are a good fit together, if I can help you with, what it is you're looking for, if I am the best fit for you. If I'm not, I absolutely will not just be like, peace out. I will see what resources I have, or something I can personally refer you to that might be a better fit for where you are now. Maybe there's something that would be a better fit for you before you work with me. There's that also. So this isn't just about this. My mission would be the right word. My goal is healing. That's why I do this. That's why I started this. That's what I've been doing for years. It's just now I'm on. It's not like I'm doing. Honestly, it's not like I'm doing anything new. I'm really not. I'm doing what I've been doing for years. I'm just doing it on a larger platform with social media. I'm extending my reach. I'm extending my, like I said, I've been doing healings with people all over the world. It's been amazing. And I'm extending my vibration. I'm expanding my healing work out into the universe and connecting with the people that wouldn't have the connections otherwise. I wouldn't have connections with, and they wouldn't have connections with me. So that's the only thing I'm doing different now. Like, have I worked with people for, 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years even? Absolutely. Have I worked with people in shorter time frames, a week, couple weeks, putting a benefits package together, varies, those sort of things. Like, I've done it all. So nothing that I offer on my website or I'm expressing live on the live streams or in my social media posts. These are not things that I just like, oh, I'm going to be a life coach and let's get certified. I guess I would be kind of a life coach. I'm a social worker. Isn't that essentially a life coach? So I didn't go and get a life coach certification. I have a degree and I have a career and experience. And I just decided that I wanted to add a spiritual component, a healing modality, and to what I do. If you are not interested in that part of it and you would just like the, more tangible, let's get the goals, maybe some audio meditations, we can discuss that in a call as well. If you're like, I don't know about these chakra things, maybe Tony Robbins would be, oh no, he's very spiritual too. They just started a meditation app, by the way. So, but there are other options and I don't have to necessarily heal your chakras, right? I can just work with you one-on-one. You can call me and we can discuss that. And yes, we can discuss payment plans and how that looks and how that would work. That's not something I post on the website because it's a little different. I'd have to do it on a different link because the website doesn't quite break it up that way for some reason. Just the way the website payment thing works. I have to use another platform, I think is the right word. I've used, and these are things that I'm learning. I have to use another platform for payments and stuff. So, but if you're looking at some of the packages, and you're like, whoa, yes, I think 3 months would be great. It's COVID. I'm in a spot right now. I can only afford so much. Every month we break it up into months, whatever it is that works better. Bi-weekly, however, whatever, we can have that discussion. I am 100%. I know what it's like to invest in myself. Obviously, I have invested in a few programs and, invested in this spiritual modality that I'm in. And luckily she had payment plan set up for some of her programs as well, which was really helpful. And it enabled me to take them. So I am not opposed to doing that for anyone else. I am absolutely here for healing. Okay, so I think that's it. This one a little different than what was on my notes. That's okay. I will see you guys at the watch party whenever I do that. Or maybe I'll just do a different live. I don't know. This one I'll have to watch this one again and see how useful it was. I think I was just chatting. Okay, so it was useful. It's very informative, I gotta say. But I would like to have a time where more people are engaged. And I honestly would like to try out doing intuitive readings in this kind of format, in this setting. Let's test me. How many fingers Or what number am I really thinking? Right? I really want to test myself out. Like, I'm super interested. And I just hear my guy friends like, it's a challenge accepted, right? Very competitive. Okay, so if anyone is interested in, or if there's multiple people, I would like to have a few people kind of on the live willing to throw out something. Please don't ask me like, what color am I thinking? That's just ridiculous. Although I connect with colors, so maybe if you're thinking purple, I'll connect with you as purple. Somebody the other day I connected with a color and they were like, actually, and I was like, oh, this is an unusual color, the way it looks. And she was like, oh no, that's part of my brand. And I was like, really? Just saying. So yes, so I would like to do this. So I need some people to do this with. And I will post about people as well. So I need some times. Maybe I should do a poll about the times. What are good times? Like maybe it is a Saturday afternoon or something that would be better. But I am going to be doing the workshops, which are group settings, and I will be intuitive in those. Like doing intuitive and doing healings and group healings and that kind of thing. And I do the group healings. I just am really interested on doing one-on-one, like clairvoyant readings where you ask me a question and I like give you that answer, so you can make future decisions about your path. I think that would be fun. Okay, so I will see you later. And much love to everybody. I don't want to ruin my bold lip. And have a great weekend. Bye.